Okay, we're going to start another video, and this time we're going to go just a little bit deeper on Heather Farris, the one that was busted with Gabe Ellis, doing the intent to manufacture methamphetamine right there on 100 South Prince William Road. And the reason I'm doing this is to start showing in some of the names and where they go. One of the three right off the bat is Sarah May. She had me a little while back and has been a rather weird one. She's never talked, and it feels like I've got stalkers on my page. I let a few of these individuals, like Sarah May, I did, Add Lucky. I want to say, I'm not even going to try to do his last name, but he's a local business owner, and the last two times he's bought properties, and I want to say how, but I'm not 100% sure, but I almost guarantee it's laundering, cartel-fed, drug ring money is how he's getting so much of his money and all that. Bill Wright is another one you'll be seeing a lot of, as well as Ronnie Baxter. We're going to start going down Adam Kroll. He is a known drug felon. Adam J. Pratt, he is a drug felon as well as a violent felon. And some of these names, I figured I'd go ahead and bring them up. Amanda Parks, who's in the 2018 drug raids, cartel-fed, ran and operated, proven, 2018. Cavazos, or I'm not for sure how you say that, is Cavazos, is another one of the last names you're going to see during the drug ring kingpin families. And you'll see here in a second why I brought up Adam. Now, when it comes to Cam Hope is supposed to be a homeless shelter and giving rooms to homeless, but the only people they give rooms to is known drug felons re-entering society. And that's the only people they have there, and often, it's right here on this alley, they have felons there that are in their program, supposed to be drug-free, doing drugs openly right here on the alleyway. They hide them oftentimes up the walk ramp. Well, I should say the walk ramp, but now I'm in a wheelchair. The wheelchair ramp going up the bottom. They hide them in the bottom next to the alleyway or areas along the alley where they can get to their drugs and do them. We're going to get to a few more people, and I want to explain why. Chantel Grell, she was actually giving me some information when it comes to Karena's, but at the same time, I found out that she is a local dealer. And when it comes to her, she was supposed to be in a halfway house getting out of jail and was supposed to be drug-free and completing a program at a known place. I'll just put it this way without putting a name. It's, if anybody knows Kokomo, Storybook Express, the women's shelter in front of there is mainly all they deal with is drug felons coming back into society. And how do you get busted dealing as well as cocaine, among other things, charges back to back the same summer, and you complete the program by being drug free and no charges? It makes no sense. We're going to bring up a few more names. Donnie Reynolds, that's another one you're going to see a lot of. The last name Zimmerman, I'll bring that up later. but Michael Zimmerman is one of them. But the Zimmerman last name I'm going to bring up later when it comes to I want to say a deputy that actually is working out there as the call center. And he's been in some issues before, and I mean issues. Monica Joe, that is actually the daughter of Andrea Joe, which is a best friend of Jerry McClurkin. And the reason I bring up Monica, she shows up around this drug ring, and names like Heather and a few others that are involved in Karina's case. But her mother doesn't like me bringing out the truth and saying the truth, so I've actually had some tampering with witness, uh, victim, and informant when it comes to her mom actually telling me I better, if I know what's good for me, take off her daughter's name, but not doing it on this. And if anybody wants to call me out on that, I have the actual tattoo, not tattoos, but that's one name I was going to bring up. But when it comes to Andrew Joe and the tampering on both sides of the family, when it comes to Karina's case, I can easily bring that out and actually show where I was told not to say anything about this. Just like another one of my videos I'm going to be doing is Shannon Jackson Young. I was told by Jerry McClurkin I better not say anything about her, even though she was the one that was called by Marlena, her mom, and grandmother to pick Karina up at her house and drop her off at Plant Farmers. And where I'll get to that later in one of the other videos is where I'm going to start really bring up a lot of these names on the first case that I was dragged into, Karina McClurkin's. But Nicole Tattoos, there's Nicole's Addiction, which is right around the corner from where the beating and the raping and Gabe sexually trafficking Karina happen at. But that's one of them. Raymond Bittner Jr., that's another one that a lot of these names, if you've heard of them, you've heard the last name Bittner. Red Sparling, that's another known drug felon. They're in Kokomo, and he's going to show up along with a bunch of others when I go to start showing some other names, their involvement in and around the ring, as well as the case that they're shown near or in missing and killed. Like I said, Ronnie Baxter. Some of these names, like Ronnie and a few others, I'm going to really hit hard later. Keegan Kalis, his dad, Scott Kalis, aka 8 Ball. And that's why I was saying Scott Kalis. That's Keegan Kalis, his dad. Randy Fields, he used to be a tattoo artist right there in Kokomo. And right after Karina's case, he up and ditched out of town. I still like to know why. And that's going to be the end of that one right there when it comes to Heather. I was bringing up some of the names. And we're going to go into Adam J. Pratt. And you'll see why when I bring up Adam, why I'm bringing his name up. As I said in another video, he is a known drug felon, as well as having a violent tendency, domestic abuse, you get the idea. Tampering with a victim, you get the idea. Long time history when it comes to felonies. And what's concerning when it comes to him, a known drug felon, Again, you're going to see like Armand, Sarah May, Lucky, Raymond Mead, that's another one. Brent McLean. He's actually kind of gave me a message. I'll pull it up while a couple videos later on where he said I better take his name out of my mouth. Jordan Hayes, that's another one that keeps showing up around this ring, in and out. Like I showed on Heather's, you're going to have Amanda Parks, was in the 2018 drug raids. And we're going to keep going down a few of these names. Indiana State Trooper. This is why everybody's putting their faith into these guys right here. And what I'm seeing is very concerning. I'm not saying this guy may be trustworthy, he may not be, but when you're showing on a known violent drug felon that's around many, and I mean almost every one in the 2018 drug raids, Adam Pratt is right there friends with. Keep going down. Angie Rowe, I'm going to talk with a little bit more in depth on her, but she is a broker of Wyman Realty, and Paul Wyman is the Howard County Commissioner. When it comes to her and his real estate company, I'm showing a lot of the Kingpin families, as well as many dealers in the 2018 drug raid are intertwined with this little real estate company. And sorry, I just bumped that. And this broker in general. It's kind of concerning. But you got to keep in mind, we thought it was concerning a former judge, Fouts, his interactions and actions that he did when he was a judge was concerning. So it would not really surprise me, and it would not beg to differ when it comes to that Kokomo Good Old Boy Club, the motorcycle clubs that are involved with that. One of them is called Miluwakee Iron, and if the name Destiny Pittman, I believe it's 2013, was murdered, they actually know who did it, the name of the individual, how he did it, but they're going to want to take care of it in the club. And he's been walking for years, nothing ever done. And Miluwakee Iron refuses to allow KPD and the others to act when it comes to him. They keep saying they want to handle it in person inside the club. And mind you, this the former president of Miluwakee Iron, his daughter, we're talking about. And they want to have rides for the girls. I called them out on this, and you seriously want to have rides for missing and killed when you're refusing to allow one of your own, and one of your own former club members is coming out and actually talking about that. Chantel Grell, she's got multiple, like Chantel Danae. Again, she knows information on Karina's case, and she sits tight on it. And it doesn't help that she's involved in that same drug ring. And some of the most concerning ones are coming up here later. Chris Frazier, who he is he was still on the force upper, I want to say chief still, and I actually had a run-in with this individual telling me I don't know what I'm talking about and I need to shut my mouth when it comes to his firefighter beating and raping a girl that just turned 2 weeks into her 18th birthday, Karina McClurkin. And you gotta remember, when it comes to Chris, You had a firefighter exposing himself to an underage girl. Look that up. So not only do you have a rapist and murderer that was on Kokomo Fire Department at the same time, but you also have another child predator that exposed himself to a underage babysitter, had the thing for the babysitter, which is underage, and pretty much exposing himself, telling her, oh, I can't believe how well you look, and you get the idea. The guy's sick. And he was in the same fire department as that rapist and murderer. So, Kokomo Fire Department has some major issues when it comes to their department. One of the most troubling is about to come up. Mark McCann. Who he is he's the lead prosecutor of Howard County, Indiana. And Len Murray, or Murray, however you say it. And you want to keep Michael Murray, Patrick Murray, family members of hers, in the back of your head. Like Fouts, we don't know how deep that goes and how many judges, commissioners, we don't know who all it involves or how deep that Kokomo Good Old Boy Club goes. But this is kind of troubling, especially when she sits over and resides over more than one of his charges on Adam Pratt's that he's actually walked on. No charges. But I wanted to bring that up, and kind of why I wanted to bring up Adam. And one last thing before I go tonight is this the one picture I was trying to bring up last night when I came up to Detective Hammond. Give me a second, my computer's being a pain. Okay, and I want you guys to read what this email back and forth entitles. It starts with the Delphi investigation, and it goes into a third missing killed case and remains in their county in reference to and back to Delphi investigation. I'll let you guys read that for a second. This is one of the very first ones, and I sent him everything I had, and before he retired, even more. And I want you to keep this and hopefully go forward with the investigation. Got an email back, and it's saying to continue the investigation. If anything else I had further, if I could provide to him, I did as well. And you see, hopefully go forward with the investigation. I have another one I can find that actually states continue the investigation. So the investigation of the third missing killed, and it would be the first missing killed 126 days before Delphi, would be Karena McClurkin, with her remains sitting in Carroll County. And you've got Steve Mullen, the investigative prosecutor with Carroll County. Okay, thanks, Mike. I'll look into this. And he actually, in another text, said he himself at his office is opening an investigation in Karena's case. And this is where it's concerning. And the ones you didn't see last night's video, I'm missing my right thumb, and it was a brown recluse bite, and I'm missing over 40% use in my right hand. So the typos, I try to explain to everybody without going into too much detail, that's what happened and how I don't have very much use when it comes to typing. Can't imagine what I'm going through as Karina's witness and an informant, and then being victimized myself. And I've got a threat, one of the biggest ones I have. There's two of them. One of them is everything I've said Gabe Ellis has done. A friend of his said will be done to me, as well as another one saying if I keep running my gums, I'll be the next one missing and killed, as in what I'm doing right now. And nothing I can do to help you at this point, even though you've got an investigation at your sheriff's department, your prosecutor's office, as well as Kokomo PD and FBI was involved in Karina's case. Don't let them lie to you. That's the same one. I didn't know if I was put that in. So looking at all this, I'm not sure I can do anything to help you get this accomplished, which is sickening. You've got a first and third killed individual with remains in your county, a third missing killed case, and I'm now getting information where there's a second train bridge in the same county, but yet you're saying there's nothing to get this accomplished. When I've got other texts where I've got, do we have enough to get premeditated murder on one individual? And yes, thank you. But just to give me an idea, Carroll County needs to come out with you, the public, when it comes to the missing killed cases, including the first and third one with remains still sitting in their county, Karina McClurkin. And it will be a major headache on their part. Their refusal to do anything, let alone look for remains in their county, when if we, me and a few others, go and we find human remains, DNA leads back to Karina, and it's near another train bridge in the same county. 2 train bridges, 3 sets of remains, all missing and killed, drugs, money owed, people rolling on each other to get less time. We've got an issue here. And you, the public, you've got a voice. Use it. Speak up. Demand not only Carroll County Sheriff's Department, as well as the Carroll County Prosecutor's Office open up about the first and third missing killed case that they have open investigations on, but have remained silent to you, the public. Is it out of fear of people saying that there's more than 2 cases? When they said there was only 2, there's unlikely there's more. But this one happened 126 days before Delphi. You've got a maniac. Maniacs. There's a group of individuals going around killing even kids. And we're not supposed to be freaked out, let alone concerned. And they don't think to concern you, the public, with the knowledge of there was another missing cold case, and we have failed to use your tax dollars how they're supposed to go. You had everybody but the National Guard when it comes to 2 white girls, and don't take me wrong when I say this, but when there's a black girl 2 weeks into her 18th birthday, her case is growing cold, just like Delphi. Going on 5 years now. Well past 5 years. 126 days before, you had Karina's. Then you had Delphi. Then you had a case 96 days after Delphi. You had Jeremy Patterson and his mom admitting that he had information on Alan Tinker, the one that killed him, and he was coming forward with law, just like me, as an informant, not only behind me, but as well as giving information on why Alan Tinker knows so much on Karena McClurkin's case. And the next few videos we will get into that. But we got some serial killers, and it's a group, and we have every right to be concerned. Is it going to be your child next? Your family member going missing, killed? Going on 5 years, no justice? I can only imagine the hell these families are going through. But at the same time, it's concerning when you're seeing individuals on 2 missing and killed cases showing up around 4 plus missing and killed cases. Karena's, Nicole Bowen's. We'll get into that later on. But this is the one thing that's sickening. You've got a witness that's getting threatened. I'll be the next one missing, killed, and nothing I can do to help you get this accomplished. When it's your job, when you've got missing, killed, and remains in your county, it's not my job to do your job for you. But if it comes to us having to sift through dirt, me getting out of my wheelchair, crawling around in dirt and mud, grime, I'll do it with a smile on my face. I gave Karena McClurkin a promise to see to it she makes it home. I don't care how bad I get hurt, scraped up, cut. In the process, I will see to it that girl makes it home. May not be the home I meant to send her back to that night, but at the same time, it is, to me, fulfilling my promise I made Karena that night.